Hey, what's up guys? By the way, I love the bugle and Isonzo. Every time I hear it, it just makes me smile. And it's just another thing that's in the game that I absolutely love. And it just adds to the atmosphere of being World 1. So yeah, I'm glad that developers put it in the game. It's awesome. Now, is Isonzo worth buying on console? I think that's going to vary from player to player. It really depends on what you're looking for in an FPS game. And if I were to break it down, let's compare Battlefield 1, that was a World War 1 game, very arcadey. It was a very casual game, but it had some of the best intense gameplay. The atmosphere was amazing, the graphics were very good in that game. And then on the other side of the spectrum, Hell Let Loose, it's another game that's on console currently. It's a hardcore tactical shooter. Realistic. It does have a slight arcade feel to it, but I would put it more towards the right, and then you got Battlefield all the way to the left. I would say Isonzo sits right in the middle. Essentially, Isonzo is a casual tactical shooter. It's not going to be as arcadey as Battlefield 1, and it's not going to be as hardcore as Hell Let Loose. Right in the middle, it balances them both. If I were to describe Isonzo in one word, it would just be fun. I think getting kills in this game is very satisfying. Majority of players are going to be using bolt action rifles, so it takes a certain amount of skill to line up your shots and kill your enemy. A negative I would give this game is the controls. It's very hard to line up your shots, and I haven't quite figured out the sensitivity for the controls. No one has posted a best controller settings video yet on YouTube, which is very strange in my opinion, because if a guy posts a best controller settings video, he's gonna get a lot of views, but no one has posted that yet. So that tells me personally, I think people are having a hard time trying to figure out what their sensitivity needs to be. I'm hoping the developers can push out an update or do something to tweak the controls a little bit, make the gameplay feel a little bit smoother, but maybe this is done on purpose to give the game a little bit of weight to the player, to the weapon. I'm not quite sure. So people aren't going to run around going on these high kill streaks. It's a lot harder to aim your shots to get those kills. You got to be more methodical on how you're going to make your plays. Looking back at Battlefield 1, a lot of players are running around with submachine guns, semi-automatic weapons. Very chaotic. You did have grenade spam. That was another issue with Battlefield 1. Whereas this game, majority of players are going to be running around with bolt action rifles. So I would describe it as a controlled chaos. There is a good balance to this game. For example, there's only 2 slots open for sniper class. There's only 2 slots open to play as an officer. There's only a certain amount of slots open to play as assault or engineer. So there is a level of balance to the game that I really enjoy. Whereas in Battlefield 1, for example, you can pick whatever class you want. It didn't matter. It was just chaos. It was just a lot of fun chaos. That's what Battlefield 1 was about. This game, I view it as controlled chaos. I really like the atmosphere in Isonzo. It's nowhere near the level of Battlefield 1. That was more of a cinematic atmosphere, whereas this one feels more authentic. There's CS gas, mustard gas. When you're running around in that, you have to wear a gas mask. If you don't put your gas mask right away, you're going to die. It does slow down your movement and your vision is going to be a little bit obscured, but that brings that level of authenticity to the game, which I really like. Alright, let's make some comparisons between Hell Let Loose and Isonzo. If I want to play a game that's really going to immerse me into feeling of being in war, Hell Let Loose is that game on console. Whereas Isonzo, I do feel like I'm in a war game. It's very immersive, but people aren't really going to depend on me as much as far as teamwork and communication. I don't even hear anybody even talking Isonzo. I don't know if there is VoIP in the game, but Hell Let Loose, you have squad leaders. A lot of times that people will take those roles as a squad leader. They're going to be communicating in the squad. Sometimes they're going to get tasks from the commander saying, hey, we need to defend this objective. This is our mission. Whereas in Isonzo, your mission is just to move forward or to defend your objectives, and that's it. There's definitely a level of teamwork in Isonzo. For example, when you get injured, sometimes you can only bandage yourself, but to get fully healed, another player has to come up to you and give you a bandage. And when that happens, half the time players will come up to you and give you that full heal. I've had people watch my back as I'm building a spawn point. So there is a level of teamwork in the game, but it's just nowhere near the level of, let's just say for example, Hella Loose. Isonzo is only $30. I think it's a great value for what you're getting. AAA studios charge $70 or more for incomplete games. For games when at launch, a lot of times they have server issues. It comes filled with bugs. Whereas this game, when it launched, there were some issues, there were some bugs, but it was nowhere near the level of what I've experienced with AAA studios, and they charge you a hell of a lot more. So for $30, I think it's a great value. My one big concern is the longevity of this game. I want to see what happens in 2 or 3 months. Will players still continue to play it? Will the servers be filled with real players? Because when it starts filling up with bots, I'm not going to want to play the game too much. So I am a little concerned about the longevity, but I know the developers are already planning on DLCs, and they've already shown that they can push out updates when needed. They've already pushed out 2 updates since it's launched, so it has been getting a little bit better. For an indie studio, I think they did a really good job. In my honest opinion, I think this game is worth it on console. But as I said in the beginning of the video, it's going to vary from player to player. So is it for you? That's basically what is it, because this game is a little bit of a niche. Only certain types of people will like this type of game. If you think this is the type of game you would enjoy, you probably will, because it is a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.